Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video we're going to be talking about that upcoming snowstorm, and we actually have our first official snowfall forecast for this one. I might be updating that tomorrow, but our first snowfall map from Direct Weather we're going to be releasing today. Now before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. I would also recommend that you check out our very cool store. You can check that out in the description and the pinned comment down below, where we have awesome products. I'd also highly recommend that you check out our very exciting Patreon page, where we're actually going to be making a post again about that northeast potential snowstorm, even up through the mid-Atlantic as well. We'll be posting that today. Now for today's comment of the day, I want to know, when do you think we will have our next snowstorm after this storm? Do you think it'll be a few days, a week? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get right into this video, and we're going to be actually doing this in the same fashion we did yesterday, starting out with our European model. And as you can see, we have snowfall going on for the four corner states. That's pretty consistent, and all the models have it exactly the same, so we're actually not going to be showing that on any of the rest of the models. I just wanted to show it at least once. Now, as we move on towards maybe about 2 p.m. on Friday, so that's going to be tomorrow. So I will be able to update this video tomorrow likely, because it's going to be starting in the afternoon. So our morning video can be like a last minute update. As you can see, we have light to moderate snowfall going on for Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin. The storm hasn't really gotten its act together yet, but we are going to be seeing some snowfall around starting up for these regions. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards about 8 p.m. on Friday, and we're going to start to see that low pressure center begin to really develop, and also a lot of heavier snowfall begin to develop as well, coming up in just a moment. All right, now here we are taking a look at about 8 p.m. on Friday, like I said, and as you can see, that moderate snowfall is now picking up for Nebraska, Iowa, southern Wisconsin, portions of northern Illinois, and then even Michigan is starting to get some lighter snowfall. Our low pressure center is a 1006 millibar low pressure center down there in Missouri. The one thing I want to mention is, you guys know this if you've been watching my videos, these models could shift last minute north or south a little bit. So we're going to be watching for that, and it's going to be crucial to make an update tomorrow morning if we do see any changes. So that's going to be kind of the last minute final update. This could come in, and we could see a lot more snowfall for Chicago if it just shifts 50 or 100 miles south. But it could also shift north, where Chicago is going to get zero snow. So that's how big of a difference could happen last minute, especially with how inaccurate the models have been. Actually, like the past 2 or 3 winters, they've been getting worse and worse and worse. This year's been a little bit better than last year so far with the accuracy, but we'll have to wait and see. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to move on towards 8 a.m. on Saturday. So we're going to be starting out kind of that next day. That's going to be December 12th. And we're going to see that storm get even heavier. It actually appears to be a lot stronger than the previous few days have suggested, according to the models. And then we're going to get into our GFS model and Canadian model, eventually getting into our modeled snowfall guidance, and then also our official snowfall forecast. Like I said, all of that is coming up soon. All right, now here's by about 8 a.m. on Saturday, December 12th, like I said, and as you can see, that snowfall is actually getting a lot heavier, even for Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, including Kansas City there. Kansas City looks to get a couple of inches potentially. Again, that's going to be coming up. We will see that on the modeled snowfall forecast and my official one. We can see throughout Iowa, even in through northern Illinois and Chicago. For snow lovers, I mean, this is such a disappointing event. It's just to the north of you guys. I know there's a lot of you. I really have my fingers crossed for you guys that we see that come a little bit further south for you guys, because I know there's a lot of people down there in Chicago that have been waiting and waiting for snowfall. I'm on you guys' side right now. I'm cheering for you guys. But Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin, there is some highly populated areas as well. They're getting some snowfall, so it's kind of either way, somebody's winning, somebody's losing as far as snow lovers go. We're starting to see some of that moderate snowfall make its way into Michigan by this point as well. Let's just move on towards about 2 p.m. And as you can see, that rain snow line does move further south as the low pressure center moves further and further in. We see it's a 999 millibar low pressure center now, so it's actually strengthening. It's over kind of Indiana by this point. Even heavier snowfall developing there for eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and it is getting heavier there for Michigan as well. I think we're going to have higher totals than I originally anticipated, because of the fact that this low pressure center actually appears to be a stronger storm overall now. And then by the time we're reaching about 11 p.m. on Saturday here, you can see that mostly for Illinois and Wisconsin, it's coming to an end. But we do see that heavier snowfall move into Michigan, and it's still a relatively strong low pressure center as well. So yeah, that's a pretty strong storm. We're going to take a look at those snowfall totals in a moment. But what we're going to do first is in a minute, we're going to move on to the GFS model quickly, and then our Canadian model, and then we will finally get into that modeled snowfall guidance where we're looking at over a foot for many regions coming up soon. All right, now here we are taking a look at the GFS model, and as you can see, we start out here. Again, I'm not showing the four-corner portion of this storm because it's basically the same thing on every single model, but for Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, we see that lighter to moderate snowfall. And really for Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, it never gets really heavy except for right by Lake Michigan. Outside of that, we really never see the heavier snowfall like the European model was showing. We actually have a stronger low pressure center here though, 996 over Michigan, so that's a bit stronger than the European, but the snowfall spread just never reaches the same level that the European model does. That'll be apparent on the snowfall map, but we do see Michigan is getting quite a good amount there. The Canadian model is even weaker actually, but it does spread out the snow better, kind of like the European model does. We see Nebraska, Iowa, is seeing some moderate snowfall with snow showers kind of throughout all of those states that are expecting snowfall. That's by about 2 a.m. on Saturday. And then by the time we reach, I would say about the afternoon hour of Saturday, we see that moderate to heavy snowfall for Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, northern Michigan there. And it's a 1001 millibar low pressure center. So that's actually quite strong as well, just not quite as strong as the GFS and the European model had. Overall, these models have really good agreement right now, so we will have to wait and see what they have to say. Let's just take a look at the total snowfall forecast according to the European model quickly. As you can see, anywhere in the grays, we're expecting about a dusting to maybe an inch or two. And then in the purples, we're expecting 6 to 9 inches of snow, so portions of Nebraska and Iowa are getting those amounts. The pinks is where we're at about 9 to 18 inches of snow, and that's throughout Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and even northern and portions of central Michigan as well. You can see many areas in there expecting maybe 13 to 15, 16 inches of snow, so well over a foot there for portions of Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, and even Iowa. Now let's just quickly take a look at what that GFS model is calling for, and as you can see, it's pretty much the same amounts, a little bit less there for Michigan, but way less for states like Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, even Missouri. So huge differences there on that more western edge. The European model is the better of these two, so we will wait and see, but I think it's going to do better. And then here's finally our Canadian model, and as you can see, it's kind of similar to the European model, just a lot less snowfall, but the regions are actually pretty similar, but we see a maximum of about 8 to 10 inches of snow, I would say, in some of those pinker shades for portions of Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan. I don't know why as it gets closer to the lake there, you can see that the amounts drop off. Maybe it thinks the temperatures will be warmer there, but the European model had no such thing, and it actually has higher amounts near the lake there. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on and take a look at our forecast from direct weather, from me, for the snowfall totals from this storm. All right, now as you can see, this is our first layer, and this is our dusting to 3-inch layer. Quickly, I want to remind you guys, I already said it, but I probably will be updating this tomorrow morning for any last-minute updates, so stay tuned to that. If I update it, this forecast will be less accurate than that one, most likely. So you're going to want to check tomorrow's video if we do update this. If this looks like it's going to do perfect, I might just not even really talk about it, or I might just show this again, or I might just... I don't know what I will do if this looks perfect, but usually there is some tweaks you can make between a 24-hour period, so likely I will be updating this. Dusting to 3 inches generally for areas like Nebraska, Kansas, northern Missouri, most of Iowa, northern Illinois there, and you can see Chicago is right on the brink of getting maybe a dusting or nothing. Again, if this just shifts 50 miles south, which is totally possible, we get a lot more snow for Chicago, so we're going to wait and see on that. Southern Wisconsin, they're getting a lot. And then even throughout most of Michigan there as well. Here's our 3 to 6 inch region in this lighter blue, and this is basically everywhere that's going to get 3 to 6 inches. I don't know why I felt like I had to explain that more, but areas in Nebraska, Iowa, northern Illinois there, again, this is pretty close to Chicago, so a 50-mile shift would put you guys possibly close to 3 inches, so we could possibly be seeing those amounts if we see a shift like that. Southern Wisconsin definitely in there, and then the northern half of Michigan, I would say, is all in the 3 to 6 inch region. Then finally, we have a 6 to 10 inch region as well, and that's going to be pretty exclusive there for Wisconsin, northern Illinois, extreme northern Illinois, kind of just those northernmost counties, I would say. And then we have 6 to 10 there for northern Michigan as well. I think pretty much the entirety of that region will be in the 6 to 10 inch region. And then finally, we have a band of 10 to 15 inches I think will set up probably over northern Michigan. That's the type of thing that could definitely change tomorrow. So we're going to be looking out for that. Again, be on the lookout for the upload because I would say most likely will be updating that tomorrow morning. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, which weather model do you think is your favorite or the most accurate? And James Marr said, I personally enjoy looking at the European model. It's the most accurate, aggressive, and doesn't follow the other models' opinions. And I actually agree. Usually the European model is kind of the leader if you think about it, and then the other models kind of follow what the European model does. It never seems like the European model follows what the other models are doing. But sometimes it is the other way around. That's the thing with models. If there was one model that's better than the others, undeniably, then why would we have other weather models? The thing is, sometimes the Canadian model is right and the European model is totally wrong, even though most of the time the European model is correct and the Canadian model would be the one that's less correct. But you never know when it's going to be correct or when it's not going to be, even though more times than not it is correct. So it's really, really tough. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our diamond patrons, Michael Codalessa, Alicia Davis, Marcus Conley, Catbite, Alan Sherry, Terry Curtis, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Bill Roberts, Kellen Manhart, Michael Buell, Charles Stinnett, Noah Harley, and Mark J, alongside our platinum patrons, Adam S., Justin Quantrell, John Benbenick, Alan Belemo, Donna Carnes, Larry LePan, Dovey Nagel, James Wade, and Cameron Marshall. If you would like to be on this Patreon end screen, you can do so by joining our Patreon in the description and the pinned comment down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.